Hello Reformers and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia and possibly the last class showcase that we will be doing because apparently, well, I think there's only one more class to do and, well, that's to say that there's actually two, but one of them I'm not entirely sure is very interesting or maybe doesn't have any kind of unique mechanics surrounding it. So maybe some of you can kind of let me know if that is not the case. Anyway, I'm going to be trying to get as much intelligence as possible. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work, but we're going to be a mage this time around. We've done every single class with the exception of the Mage Apprentice and the Fighter. So do let me know if the Fighter has any things that we should look at, but at the moment I think we should do a little bit of Magery because, well, we haven't really looked at the Riders Magocracy just yet, and we've looked at every single other faction, I believe, so that's pretty cool. Let's do it. Alright, so Wanderlust, it has to be Wanderlust for a mage, surely, and let's be on foot so that we can actually, you know, throw some fireballs and all kinds of things. I wonder whether they have a fireball on a banner here. Let's see if they have a fireball or something similar to that effect. I mean, obviously we're not only going to be using fireballs, we're going to be using other things. Oh, there's a fireball. It's kind of like a sun, I guess. So, yes. We've got some pretty decent stats here. Not exactly what I wanted in terms of being extremely powerful in terms of the intelligence department, but it's okay because we are able to get quite a bit of magic power and magic defense. And we have 5 leadership as well. 5 leadership is pretty fantastic. Wow, okay. Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, we should probably go for some pathfinding as well. We should probably go for some tactics. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's... No, wait a minute. I should probably do throwing skill, shouldn't I? Oh, well, never mind. One-handed is also reasonably good. So we're going to be doing Magery. That's him. There you go. Magery. Yes, as you can tell, I'm very good when it comes to the names, of course. Okay, let's... I somehow believe that a mage is probably not going to have too much facial hair, so maybe we should just make him absolutely clean-shaven. It's been a while since we've done one of those. I actually think I've never made a character in Mount and Blade that has ever been clean-shaven, so that's interesting. Okay, is there a complete... Ah, there we go. Let's go for a completely bald look, because his wizard hat needs no resistance, of course. Okay, let's make him really old. Alright, so we're gonna start in the Kingdom of the Roroks, because that is where we need to be for the obligatory look at the Riders Magocracy. And hopefully we will complete that quest as well, and then we'll be able to recruit some mages and things like that. And that is actually what we initially started doing with our cleric, but, well, I kind of neglected to remember that there's actually a faction that focuses on faith skills and everything, but called the Blazing Hand, so I decided to focus on them instead. And yeah, so we did that. Anyway, let's see if I can... Ooh, nice. Journeyman Mages, give me those. Now, bear in mind that when we join the Riders Magocracy, it is going to be pretty fantastic because you're able to recruit golems, as far as I'm aware. And those golems, I don't know whether you know, but they are very, very powerful indeed. So hopefully we'll be able to do that sooner rather than later. What I'd like to do though first is just document how easy the early game with the Mage Apprentice is, and then go on from there and become a vassal, and then, you know, see where we can go after that. There's Master Fadus? Fadai. Yes, Fadai. And yeah, I'm just going to try and go to all of the villages, and there's a Corsair landing right there. That might actually make sense for us to go over there reasonably soon, I suppose. Maybe we'll try and get a task from one of the nearby lords to, you know, clear it out, because then we'll gain a huge amount of experience. Hello there. Who's that? Master Rolf. Okay, hello there. I am Magery. Let's do this. Alright, so yeah, do any tasks? He has this. Yeah, that's something I don't really want to do right now, because I don't really want to reduce my relation with a village, if I can help it. Oh, I can just join as a mercenary immediately. Okay, sure, why not? I'll join as a mercenary. We're at war against the Blazing Hand and the dwarves. I'm not very happy about that, let me just say. I'm not very happy about that at all, because the dwarves are extremely difficult to kill with their magic defense, and the Blazing Hand, I would assume, are probably going to be out-healing any kind of damage that we're able to do to them, so I guess we just have to be a bit cautious until maybe war starts somewhere else. I haven't actually found any looters, though. It seems like the Wizard's Tower area might have a couple of difficulties with a lack of bandits. But maybe that's just me. Ah, Master Nadia, hello there. Why are they giving me this? Why are they giving me this task? I'd very much appreciate it if they could give me a task to go and kill that Corsair, you know, that Corsair outpost, hideout, whatever you want to say. I'm actually kind of surprised I have that much money. Oh wow, I have 1,200? Are you serious? Okay, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, let's just continue to walk around here. I actually have a pretty large army already. And who's this guy? I think this is the Archmage himself. Whoa, he looks... Shall we just say he looks fantabulous? I mean, look at him. In his purple hat and his very splendiferous robes. That is pretty amazing. Okay, so let's see if we can... 6-foot dwarves. Okay, fine. I'm gonna try and do that, but it's highly unlikely I'll be able to. And I maybe... Oh, I can get a single golem. Oh, very nice. I can actually get a single golem for 500 dinars. Or I could just get 10 mages for 200. Let's get a single golem and see whether he's able to survive for the episode, shall we say. And I'm just going to speak to the fellow again, and can I become... No, I was actually thinking maybe if I was a noble start, I might be able to become a vassal reasonably early on, but never mind. Alright, so I'm going to try and find some bandits, because it seems like it's a bit sparse. Ah, well, look at that. We actually did find some Corsairs, and there's only 10 of them, but we do have 30 troops, and they're not necessarily the best, so do bear that in mind. Anyway, let's open up our spellbook and see what we have here, because obviously we have Magic Missile. Right. We have 13 uses of it. Okay. I'm a bit worried about this, because I've never used Magic Missile before. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it's very inaccurate at the moment. It seems like most of my comrades in arms actually do have Magic Missile as well. It's actually not even that bad. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, we seem to actually be doing a little bit of damage here. And I actually wish I was against a really large army right now, because I could basically just randomly shoot and probably hit someone. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that it's being this inaccurate. Oh, there we go. One of our mages has cast Charm on the opponent and has now turned him against his former allies. Oh yes, that sounds good to me. Alright, so let's just continue to bombard them with Magic Missile, which is absolutely awful at the moment. Probably need to go into the Mages Guild and see what I can do about maybe purchasing a new something or other, a new spell. That would probably help us out quite a bit. And do I have any damage? Do I have... No, I don't have any damage. Let's just put that away, shall we? Let's just try and, you know, seal away our dreams of actually being able to hit someone. But actually we did. We actually did hit someone right there, amazingly enough. Okay, come on now. You must die to Magery. It doesn't seem like it's working. Oh, a little bit of damage right there. Okay, I can't really do too much, because my damage is literally the most pitiful thing I've ever seen. Yes. I mean, I don't have anything in Power Strike, so do bear that in mind. So if you're going for the early game with a mage, then you certainly either want to spec into some Power Strike to be a battle mage of some sort, or you want to, you know, maybe specify a little bit more about what kind of spells you're going to use. Oh, there we go. We actually gained level 2 from that. Pretty nice. And yeah, so after this, I'm probably going to try and become a vassal if I can. And then we're going to see a little bit more of what the Riders Magocracy has to offer. But before I do that, let us go over here. How much money do I have? A decent amount, but as you can see, the wages of this guy, for example, are 64 dinars. Stone Golem, 54 dinars. And even the Journeyman Mages, 31. So you can assume that if you are going to have an army with the Mage faction, you certainly need to be worrying a little bit more than with the other factions about your finances. So let's go over to the Mages Guild and see what's actually going on there, because we certainly need to get a new spell, but I don't think I have enough money to be able to purchase one at the moment. But let's just actually see what we're capable of getting, because there might be some new ones that we haven't actually seen before. So as you can see here, oh, look at that. We got Shield, Magic Missile, Acid Arrow, Darkness, Charm Person. Ah, now that is a favorite of mine. Magical Weapon. And then you have Vampiric Bolt, which we've already seen with Arcane Deathbloom. We have the Haste spell, which we've already seen as well. The Slow spell, which is obviously the opposite of Haste. Black Bolt, Dispel, which I think we know what that does. Fireball we've seen, Lightning Bolt, Flame Arrow, and Chaos. Wow. Okay, so what about the Lightning Bolt spell? Because I actually really like that. How much is it? Oh, it's 5,000. Yes, okay. So, unfortunately not able to get that just yet. But what about Charm Person? They say that the greatest power is not to defeat your enemies, but to turn your enemies' allies into your own allies. Charm Person affects a single creature, and if it fails to resist it, it will become a member of your team. Take note that your enemies will immediately realize this and will attack your new friends, so that could get them into serious trouble. Sadly, the effect of the spell will only last long enough to cover a single battle. Once the magic fades, the victim of the spell will return to his own. Another thing, the creature needs to have a living mind of its own, so golems and undead won't be affected. And that only costs 3,000, so we need a total, technically, of about 8,000. Or, if I want to get a Master Hood, which is here, with a magic modifier of 12, which would be insane, then I need 19,000. And obviously there is the opportunity to gain certain things from the 4 ways in, and that would no doubt help us quite a bit to raise our stats. Anyway, this guy only has 400, really? Okay, I'm going to try and sell my gear here. Oh, that was easy. That was actually easier than I anticipated. I actually thought, oh, he's not going to have enough money for all the amazing loot that I have, but apparently he does. Anyway, that will be it for this part of this episode, but we're going to come back in just a moment, and hopefully we'll be able to become a vassal. Alright, so I've been doing a little bit of off-screen progression just to get to the kind of mid-late game with our mage right here, and we're going to try our luck against one of the Rodok vassals. Now, as you can see here, he actually outnumbers us somewhat. We have 51, he has 67. Now, you may see that I've gone to the 4 ways in and I've had a bit of a shopping spree just because I wanted to show you exactly what you're going to get at the 4 ways in if you create a mage. And this is, I think, basically the gear that you want to go for, unless you are thinking of maybe just improving your intelligence somewhat and getting the thinking cap in comparison of getting the Archmage hood, which is what I'm currently wearing. And this is exactly the armor that we saw on Archmage Fyhrr beforehand. So if you want to be him and, you know, take over his job, then you certainly can. Well, you can try your best to do so at least. Now, I'm using the Archmage set, basically, because I'm using the Archmage robe and I'm also using the Archmage staff. So, yeah, that's basically pretty fantastic. I was actually going to go for the Healer's Ring as well, just because if I was actually creating this character for a full series, I'd probably try and save up for the Healer's Ring, because let's be honest, the Healer's Ring is absolutely fantastic for basically any occasion. Like any character whatsoever, the Healer's Ring is going to make sure that you stay alive, at least unless you are completely reckless Yes, and oh yeah, I probably should have shown you some of my new spells as well. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. So this is obviously Magic Missile. This is Charm Person. I decided to go for Slow. I also have Haste, if we so need it. I also have a Lightning Bolt here, and Chaos. Causes major confusion to enemy troops. Now, I'd like to see that actually work, because last time when I attempted to use Chaos, it didn't actually work as intended, so maybe it just needed a couple of tweaks or something like that. But yeah, you can see there that that was very, very easy indeed, but that is obviously just because we are against a Rodok vassal that isn't exactly the most powerful, and I do have a couple of Adept Mages. I have 10 Expert Mages as well, by the way. Oh yeah, I should actually comment on that. Yeah, the mage units are very difficult to level up. Let me just say that, because from, I think it was Journeyman? Yeah, from Journeyman to Adept, it's okay, but then from Adept to the next level above that, which is Expert as far as I'm aware, that's very, very difficult to get. You're gonna be taking a long time to level up any of those, so you're going to need either a huge amount of experience, so you're going to need, you know, big battles with high level tier troops, and yeah, that would obviously be one option, or you basically just have to wait. You just have to, yeah, do that. So that's not particularly good. Ah, unfortunate. Okay, so did you see that as well? If one of your units decides to use Charm Person on one of your enemies, and they are the last one alive, and you don't choose to kill them, then they're going to be alive, and they're going to then, you know, stop you from basically winning the entire battle. So that's a bit irritating, suffice it to say. But yeah, I don't really mind too much about that, because, you know, if you can turn a swashbuckler like we did just there, or something just as powerful, then you're going to be in a pretty decent spot anyway. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you the Archmage stats here as well. The Archmage hood has a magic modifier of 16, the robe has a modifier of 18, and then we have the Archmage staff here, which is actually a pretty decent weapon. I mean, if you have a bunch of power strike, you'll probably do quite a bit of damage with this. But yes, what I actually wanted to do was take Ibdele's castle, but first off, I think it would probably be a decent idea to take a look at the Ridus Magocracy and their troop trees, because I do know that they come with a variety of different golems. As you can see here, here's a clay golem. Their dodge skill is absolutely awful, as you can see, but they have 78 HP, and you can tell here, I mean, just look at their helm. Their helm is so powerful that you're not going to be able to headshot these guys. You know, you're going to have to go for body shots, and going for body shots, even so, is still protected by 70 body armor. So they're going to take a long time to take out. And let's just go on to the next one, because this one is even more powerful. You can see here, even better armor. Doesn't have any ability to dodge by the looks of things, but who cares? Because magic defense 7, power strike 7, iron flesh 8, crazy weapon proficiencies, 86 health. Then we go on to the next one, which is the Iron Golem. It actually does have a little bit of dodge skill. It has even more body armor. It can come with a shield as well. Can you imagine this thing with a shield? Crazy. 88 HP, 475 in every single weapon proficiency, 10 power strike, 8 magic defense. These guys are not gonna die from magic, that is for sure. And if you want the ultimate form, then you're gonna get these guys, a Silver Golem. They have less health than the Iron Golem, but that doesn't really matter because they have 10 magic defense, 9 in shield. Crazy. Crazy. 500 weapon proficiencies as well. But obviously they take a bit of time to get, as far as I'm aware. I actually don't even know how you get those anymore, because the one that I have in my army at the moment, I believe, is a Stone Golem, and that is the lowest tier, but still. Anyway, as you can see, we have Expert Mages. These are the ones that I currently have. Actually, wait a minute, that's a Master Mage. Where's the Expert? There's the Expert. This is... I have 10 of these in my army at the moment. You can see here that they're not particularly special. They don't have anything very amazing, with the exception of using Fireball, Lightning Bolt, and Haste spells. And then, if you go to the Master Mage, this is when it gets very fun. Even though I have none of these, unfortunately, but they have the same amount of spells and, you know, all sorts of things like that. But their main draw is the fact that they're able to dodge extremely well in comparison to the experts. They just gain so much dodge chance. So, yeah, but if you want to as well, if you want to have like an infantry force that is capable of running interference between you and your mages and the enemy, then you can also get these escorts at the nearby town, and they are very cheap. You can basically get, I think, 30 or 20 of them for 300 dinars. Very easy to get. Anyway, let's go into Ibdella's castle. This is a siege tower. Okay, you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to go for Jalkala, because this is a class showcase. We're going to go for this. Okay, well, apparently Count Rimusk does not want us to go for Jalkala. I mean, I actually thought that we might have been able to do it, because our mages are very, very powerful, but if we're not able to do it, then that's just how it has to be. But you can see the effectiveness of the mages so far, and I think that's actually pretty cool, because on the one hand, you have, yeah, this is a stone. This is a stone golem. I was actually just going to check that real quick. But anyway, on the one hand, you have factions that are capable of insane defense and offense. Like, for example, the dwarves. They are much better, in my opinion, at defense than they are at offense. And then you have the orcs, which in my opinion are much better at offense. Obviously, this is just a matter of personal preference and my own, you know, my own perspective on things. But I feel like mages in general are actually really quite well balanced at the moment. And that's interesting, because in previous versions they were not balanced at all. Let's face it, they were not balanced. They were very, very powerful, able to do basically anything they wanted to do on the battlefield. They could kill everyone in a single siege in basically under 10 seconds. So they were very, very powerful. And that is, I think, still the case in some aspects. Like, if you're going to take a band of mages and go up against, for example, the Rodox like we are right now, then I think we're probably going to have a pretty good time of things going into a siege. I think our mages will be able to survive most of the time, because I mean, if you have an overwhelming number of them like we do right now, then that is obviously going to make a massive difference to your critical mass, you know what I mean? So if you have, I don't know, if you have 10 mages, it's probably not going to make too much difference in you being an absolute steamroll against, you know, any particular target. But if you take on one of the other factions, and I'm looking at the, you know, the Drow and the dwarves here, as well as the Blazing Hand, I think you're probably going to have some difficulties, because they're going to have magic defense, whereas the sort of standard factions, they generally don't have magic defense, and that is obviously going to make things much easier for a mage-focused build, and indeed a mage-focused army. So let's see if I can get a couple more of these expert mages. These guys take so long to level up, but you can see here that their weekly wage is 109. Crazy. Wow, that is insane. Anyway, this is Jalkala with 500 troops inside it. I actually don't have that much HP, so I might end up dying here, which is a bit of a shame. I actually did not decide to get the magic shield spell, which was maybe a mistake, but I've just used Chaos, and I'm not entirely sure what that's gonna do, if anything. It seems like it doesn't even matter, because you can see here that they basically sent out their farmers and their relatively low tier units as far as I can tell, but yeah, that's a bit weird. Anyway, 41 renown for us right there, pretty easy. And let's see how we do with a battle advantage of -12. Bear in mind, we have 29 mages on the battlefield at the moment. We're going to need to do something a little bit... Oh dear. Yes. That is a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yeah, so that is also a bit of a risk. that the enemy is going to have some mages that you're, going to be up against, and that's exactly what I meant. If you have 10 mages like we have around now, yeah, we've got about 12 people on the battlefield, so basically 10 mages, because we do have a silver golem over there, or a stone golem, and you can see here that we're dying. We're dying very easily, so there is that balance. You're not running in there with 20, 30 mages and being able to kill 600 enemies or 1,000 enemies or something like that. So there is that balance, which I very much appreciate. Yes, I'm actually going to need to die here, to be honest, to be able to retreat, unfortunately. Didn't want to have to do that, but yeah. I thought that was a pretty good test, because I actually thought to myself, maybe we will be able to do it, maybe we won't, but it would be fun to try. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.